Alright, what is going on, guys? My name is Leon Master. Welcome back to another Overwatch League news video. And today, guys, we have so much stuff to talk about. We got the surprising news with Mano, the Philadelphia Fusion. We'll talk about that later. And a lot of LFTs today that are honestly really unexpected after what we got from leaks previously. And it's a lot of questions what's going to go on with the Paris Eternal. And also, we'll talk about some rumors slash leaks at the end of the video. They're not really fully reliable just yet. That's why they're at the end of the video. They're just kind of like bring up a conversation kind of thing. So obviously, let's start off with the biggest thing. It is Mano to Philadelphia Fusion. This one was something. It's definitely, honestly, I think this is the move Philadelphia should have made if they want to get better. You know, they had Sado. There's definitely upgrades to Sado, and I think Mano is going to be that upgrade. Mano can bring a lot to the Philadelphia Fusion. I feel like he can definitely adapt to their playstyle right now. I feel like Mano and Ivy could fit well if they re-sign Ivy, obviously. And it would be absolutely fantastic to see how Mano and Fury play with each other. Obviously, Fury's still going to stay. I forgot if he's under contract or not. Watching Fury and Mano potentially play, and even with Carpe and Alarm and Funny Astro, that would be absolutely crazy to watch. I think Mano definitely deserves to stay in Overwatch League. Obviously, Season 3 was not the best for NYXL in general, so Mano didn't look that good. But when it comes to Season 1, Season 2, he's always brought consistent performances. Even in Season 3, I think he definitely wants to make a move with Philadelphia Fusion. This is the move Philadelphia Fusion needs to make if they actually want to get even closer to winning. They've always gotten close, but they still need upgrades like Rascal, even if they want to get Rascal. This one was crazy, and also, I somewhat called it in my previous video talking about Mano being traded. I mean, here's the clip right here. At least for the 4 teams I wrote down right here, but he could probably bring out some surprising ones on some other teams that he'd go to. In the back of my head, I thought about Philadelphia Fusion, but I feel like they're still going to stick with Sado. But it's sad to see it because I wasn't fully on my gut, because that's what it kind of was. Back of my head, my gut was telling me it's going to be Philadelphia Fusion, but I was like, no, there's no way they're going to sign Mano. They've kept Sado and used Sado for so long, they're just going to keep him. But nope. Sado's going to be on the bench or traded, and they got Mano. And like I said already, this is a huge upgrade. I think Mano is going to massively change this roster and see how the future goes for Philadelphia Fusion. I'm really excited to see how this goes. And let's also ask questions. What's going to go off NYXL? Obviously, we do know Yakpung is the leaked main tank for them right now. But there's so many things going on with NYXL. It looks like they're probably going to go on a budget or something. It's sad to see also Mano in a different jersey. I mean, it looks weird. Like, there's my Photoshop right there on your screen. It looks weird to see Mano in a different jersey. It just doesn't feel right. But that's it. I'm not going to keep going on about it. It's crazy to see Mano on a different team. He's going to the Philadelphia Fusion. Going to be insane to watch and see how this goes out. Now to talk about some LFTs. We have Paris Eternal players saying some LFTs and Mandu. Let's go and get Mandu out of the way real quick. Mandu does LFT, which was very surprising because he was actually under a contract with the NYXL, and I guess they bought out his contract and now he is no longer under NYXL, which is crazy to think about. And we thought they were going to use him next season, but no, Mandu's not staying with the NYXL next season, what it looks like from this LFT post. And it comes to many teams that he maybe could join, like the Washington Justice, like we have said before. I've talked about Mandu a lot before in my past when it comes to trading, so I'm not going to say as much again, but I think the obvious teams are obviously like Washington Justice, because he could probably be better than Arc, and just like the lower tier teams in general, maybe Toronto Defiant, all of those kind of teams for sure Mandu could work with. Alright, now on to the Paris Eternal LFTs. And this one's kind of shocking, and you know, here's all the tweets right here. Nico, Benbest, and Soon are all LFTs, and as it looks like, they're not going to get re-signed either. Benbest says they informed me they won't be renewing my contract. Same thing goes with Nico, and I'm going to connect the lines here. I'm guessing the same thing goes with Soon, but he did not say that. So all 3 of these players LFT, which is very surprising because Paris Eternal, with the leaks we've had previously, said they were going to go like Western EU-ish kind of roster once again. Also, it's been kind of a leak that they're also going to go on a budget as well, which sucks to see, but honestly, a lot of teams are going to go budget this season because of the obvious things, which is COVID. With very obvious, money was a tough time this year, probably will be another year unless COVID goes away. But let's go and talk about these players. Obviously, I will have teams they can go to. I will do my Photoshops once again, and I gotta say, it was kind of rough to find teams for these guys, and obviously I think there will be surprises throughout the rest of this year. Obviously, the Overwatch League may start in like April. That's the rumor right now. So obviously, there'll be more releases still, more free agents, all of that. So these guys go to many teams I did not list today because of just how the teams want to pick up players. So when it comes to Benbest, I think there's 2 teams that could definitely want him. The first team I have written down is the Atlanta Reign. I think in general, if you look at the seasons compared to Paris Eternal and the Atlanta Reign, I think I would take Benbest over Gator, but also Benbest really fit on the Paris Eternal. You know how he was surrounded with the players he had, the coaching. Will that fit to Atlanta? Maybe or maybe not. I think he could be better than Gator, and seeing a Benbest Hawk duo could be good. I think it could be a potential upgrade over Gator, but not a massive one. But definitely good enough where you probably get a little bit more consistent performances, and maybe Gator comes in for the Winston, maybe, and Ben Best still plays as Ryan and Arissa. That would probably be my only thing to think of, but it all depends on what happens with the later stuff and how everything works out with the Atlanta Reign. Then onto the other team I wrote down. I think this one honestly has the most likely is the Toronto Defiant. Obviously, they only have Logics on that roster right now. They have KDG as the coach. I feel like if they want to start off with a new main tank and maybe build around Ben Best and Logics, I think that'd be good for the Toronto Defiant just to get Ben Best right now and maybe work up towards that and maybe get a better main tank. I feel like there's definitely way more options for main tank to be better in general other than Ben Best, but it all depends on what they want to do, what their money situation is. As we've heard from Toronto Defiant, they have a lot of money, so I don't see Toronto going on the budget, especially that they got KDG. So Ben Best going to Toronto, I feel like that's the most likely one, but I also could see the Atlanta Reign one as well. It's the only teams I can really think of right now when I look at the rosters, so we'll see how this goes on later. Then up to the other one, Nico. This one was also very tough to find as well. I look at all these teams in the standings, or just teams in general, I should say, and I just don't see Nico fitting into them. Honestly, I really don't, but I did write two teams down. The obvious one, Toronto Defiance. They have no projectile or flex right now. I didn't write this one down because I don't really see it happening because Vancouver, I don't think Vancouver has that much money at all, but Vancouver could be a good shout. Onto the other team, though, is the London Spitfire. And the reason I wrote the London Spitfire down is because obviously British Hurricane is going to be completely promoted at this point. It almost is going to happen at this point. But I don't think he'll start over Dan. I think Dan will still start over Nico. And if they did sign Nico, there would be a rotation, or Nico would be a specialist on some heroes, and Dan would come in and sub out. Rotation, basically. I think Nico could be good for London Spitfire if there wasn't a rotation, kind of like on Paris Eternal. Nico plays certain heroes, Dan plays certain heroes. But honestly, it's really hard to find a team for Nico. If any team was going to get him, probably the Vancouver Titans or Toronto Defiant, but it all depends on their money situations. But honestly, I don't even think Toronto fans want Nico on the team, but we'll see where this goes. Then up to my other one, obviously the last one I should say, is Soon. And there was also one team that I found soon too, but this could change later in a couple months, is the London Spitfire. I said this for every other hits game we've talked about. London Spitfire with British Hurricane. Spark R is the current hits game for that team, but he's actually underage till June. So they'll still need that hits game to fill that spot till June, or just mainly play in general. And I feel like that could be Soon. That could obviously be Oni God. Obviously he's in contenders right now. That could be Linkser. There's a lot of hits games London Spitfire could find right now for that hits game spot, obviously for British Hurricane. And I feel like Soon could be another good shout with Soon duoing with Dan, and I think he could fit that roster in general. So we'll see where that goes with Soon. I think he could definitely fit that roster 100%. Now let's talk about the potential rumors slash trades. I'm not really going in on this. I'm not saying this is 100% true. Please don't take this 100%. I've been getting DMs about this. This has been going around in my Discord, and it's definitely a good conversation to talk about, and there is some potential things here, but I'm going to say no to that right now because we have no clue about this guy. But here's the whole Discord messages that have been going in my Discord in general, my DMs on Twitter. Here it is. And obviously as the conversation starts, is so a friend of mine who's been pretty accurate with rumors and leaks tells me Mano, the Fusion, and Jerry the NYXL. Obviously this was like way before Mano went the Fusion. I think this was like maybe a day or two before. He said, what did they get right? He can't say. They got the Dallas signings right and some others as well. Let me check real quick. There's plenty more. Oh, and he also says Kevster the Shock and Fearless to Dallas. This one's weird. Like I said, don't take this 100%. I'll definitely still talk about these potential moves. I'm not going to say they're real. I'm not going to say anything about that. This is almost like a what if segment like I do on Twitter and my YouTube community posts, which I have been doing a lot more. So obviously, as we can tell from the first things he talked about is Mano the Fusion. This was posted like a day or two before Mano actually went the Fusion. And then Jerry the NYXL, and I did see more leaks of Jerry the NYXL as well when it came to another DC Inside leak. But we'll see where that goes. I've seen Jerry was supposed to go on NYXL. Now I'm seeing Jerry to NYXL, and I'm seeing he's supposed to be staying on Boston. I don't know. This one's interesting. If they do get Jerry on NYXL, that's an obvious sign that they're going full budget this season. Obviously, they released many players. They're getting Yakpung and potentially Jerry. This one's interesting. I don't see NYXL going far if they are getting Jerry. But honestly, I'm not taking this 100% for sure just yet. If they do get one more right on this list, then absolutely take this for 100%. Then up to the bottom, as you can see, is Kevster the Shock and Fearless to Dallas Fuel. I'm going to talk about Kevster real quick because I can actually see this happening. They obviously don't have Rascal anymore. I don't know if they're still going to use Tayo at this point. And Kevster is on the LA Gladiators. He obviously got signed to like a 1 year. And who knows if he's going to stay on that roster at this point. I feel like Kevster on the Shock could be really nasty. He has a lot of potential, as we've seen from contenders. Moments in the Gladiators, he's been an insanely good flex DPS for the season for the Gladiators. Going to the Shock would obviously bring so much more potential out from him on that team. I could easily see this happening. Definitely would be a good move for Shock in general. I would love to see this one. Now on to the most unrealistic one, but would absolutely be fun to see, is Fearless the Dallas Fuel. This would be crazy if Shanghai got rid of him, but obviously there could be a huge money thing with Fearless and the Shanghai can't keep him anymore, which is, I don't think that would be true in the slightest until we saw more releases from Shanghai. Obviously they released players that didn't play at all basically this season, with like Aguri, Dia, Luffy did play a little bit, DM played a decent amount as well, but Fearless to Dallas would be crazy, but also it kind of fits the thing with Element Mystic, how he was there in the past. But this was like very early 2018. I'm pretty sure Rush wasn't even coaching Element Mystic at that point. So it's weird to think about this one. Fearless to Dallas would be absolutely crazy for Dallas fans. Obviously, hearing Fearless and Han be your next tank duo. Hearing Shanghai lose Fearless would be crazy, but Stay One definitely has potential to bring that back. I'm not really going in on these leaks in quotation marks just yet. I'm just talking about as like a conversation, a speculation right now. Don't take these 100%. Please don't. Don't go around talking about this almost everything it's official. Don't do it unless it comes from like Halo or other really top tier, has a lot of official stuff that he's talked about in the past. Believe them, but I don't know about believing Discord messages just yet. But obviously, you want to someone believe it because he got some Dallas stuff right and he got Mano the Fusion right. I get that, but let's not believe it just yet. Alright, that's going to be it for the video, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed, and before we go on, thank you guys so much for 4K. This one was a fast 1K. We got 3K to 4K so quick. Thank you guys so much. But let's also hit 5K before this year ends. We're almost at the end of the year. Let's hit 5K before that ends. And if you want to stay more tuned with Overwatch League news and Overwatch League stuff in general, don't forget to subscribe down below. Also, don't forget to join my Discord down below as well. And don't forget my Twitter and my Twitch. And don't forget to hit that bell. And don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you guys on the next one.